I think there's a couple different strategies you can use. One, C-level executives care about like very specific things. They care about the competition. They care about where the industry is headed. They care about their board and their shareholders. So to me, read their annual report. Your annual report is going to tell you so much of what's happening with the company, where they're focused, margins, different areas that you might be able to impact. So an executive is going to want to know that you've done the research on their business. So for me, the types of information you need to bring to the table are usually too high level for a lot of salespeople, meaning they can't not talk tactics or product. But in reality, you need to understand that this business is thinking, a CEO or C-level at a Fortune 1000, even if 2000, they're thinking about what's happening in 2021, right? They're not, this year is this year. Like, it's already baked in an executive's mind at a big company. I mean, obviously there's changes you can make. So I think making sure that you have relevant business value about their business and their industry is critical.
On that same vein, what advice would you give to C-suite execs who find themselves kind of thinking of their product and how it looks in the eyes of their VC investor and not necessarily in the eyes of their consumers?
I mean, that's a tough part about raising venture capital, right? Raising venture capital, you kind of have one path, and that's to grow at a certain clip, et cetera. And you better just figure that shit out along the way, So I just think if you're a venture-backed company compared to not being a venture-backed company, you just think of the world differently. It's just go. It's adding the right people at the right time. You almost have to overhire in certain points just because you're going to have to hire so fast that that you're going to have to let people go. So I think it's if you're a C-level executive, you're focused on the customer and you're focused on like reducing churn, et cetera. But you also have to be always focused on just ridiculous growth, where if you're a publicly traded company, I mean, you still have growth, but it's nothing like what's expected in the early days.